Oh, where you watch? Look where you watch. Know where you watch. Choose the right thing to watch. And this enough to watch. Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gorgan, Facebook and YouTube. And that enough to watch. The movie star fly take off from Pelpa Time TV said that. Boom!
A big sound, a big tune.
Ja holy Emmanuel I boy. Ja Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know war, not every...
Blue, Mr. Gorgan, blue. Blue till me dance up me toe.
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gorgan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at that.
Drive up the dead.
Reverse them, move them, pull them out, spray them out. Every cockroach, every rat, every criminal, scrambling, every city boy, pull them out. Every criminal, every political scam, who's a coach, can't coach, who's a coach, can't coach, fuck them out, spray them out, who's them out, some who's just there, and out it out, shake that up, other yard, shit, yeah, set that up, and then the catch up, keep strong, set on to, set, okay, that's it.
Up and running, up and gunning, up, blessed Thursday evening, Ben Johnson evening. Yeah, me just eat some Ben Johnson food. And I say, me come and do this video before to go really lock off. So, hold on. So anyway, we up and running, up and gunning. Sticky Stucky Sweet TV, Keith Gorgan, cassava, man over matter, up and running. Well, right about now, we still up on the politics, because the politics are get hotter and hotter, and people are get desperate and desperate more every day, because they will try feel like they want to delay the election. I don't know what they are dealing, but they want to sweat it out. But it not go work. Well, anyway, we're going to play 2 videos, or a couple of videos, but we'll play one with controlness, and him really idiot followers them, who them for them head look like them head lick or trip or something, because I don't know how, when them get out of this thing, and if they don't have no consideration with Jamaica, or them kids, or them grandkids, or whatsoever, but them people are really dark, and they make Andrew Wallace a condemn. But anyway, the one a long time one when, you know, when people really, but you know, some of them people are supposed to have some sense now anyway, because this was like a long time video when they on top and things like that. When you feel it can come and, you know, put some wool over people's eyes. But then again, him still a do it. But I know some of the labor right them have some sense now. Because some of them have come out. A lot of them have come out now, bluntly, without no fear. And say, well, then never again. So he might lose it. The whole of the Labour Party will lose it. And that's why he might try to delay the election now, all of a sudden. And they might boast, well, then, oh, third term, loading, whatever. And then them try to tinkle with some gerrymongering or mongering with the Portmore thing. So them all over the place, because them know them will lose grounds. Well, anyway, we're going DAMION CRAWFORD will fix them business, but we're going to play Andrew Wallace first, right? We'll play Andrew Wallace first to hear the rubbish him attack, because the brother really, you know, him have a mind of him one way, really con man, you know, really tricky-card man, him can come, and then people buy some things, you know, but again, that's how people stay. Just like you have some pastor at Jamaica, or some really con man them, you know, and when them come out, the woman them, him charm, you know. Some woman who give him the last, give them last. Well, give the pastor them last, and them kids can't go to school. Like them brainwash or something. All of them things are going to Jamaica, you know. Some like either pastor, they can't read properly. Or say can't read properly, they don't know the Bible scripture. But they just use God as a way of conning people and making money. And you call that have a false pretend. So politician and pastor work in the same league, you know. Because people get tricked by politician and get tricked by pastor. Them do the same evil work. And don't get me wrong, you have good pastor and you have good politician. But you know, the whole of them is not the same. And that's how it go. Anyway, we can't do well as upon this. And then, you know, we can talk through it. And then we're gonna go to DAMION CRAWFORD and hear my fix the whole JLP labor right business. And if you can't do nothing, they must scamper like what? They want ice water or something. Anyway, hear this.
I can only say he's an honest man, a man of the clock. When he spoke about the high interest rate policy, that some of them who want to lead the country today, they benefited from it. And your own person, your own member of parliament at the time described it as the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich.
See what I talk, so now, a lie I tell you, know, everything I talk is a reverse psychology I talk, you know, because when I talk, I tell lie on PMP, because PMP always for the poor. And we know that from Monday days, them distribute land, them coming with Jamal, make people try to learn, because there's so much guns from the slavery day. Labor right now do nothing like that. So PMP was with the people's party where help poor people. We know that. And now we talk under some reverse psychology now. So when we talk yes now, and what him do, you know. Because remember SSL with Usain Bolt money. Usain Bolt a little poor guy, you know. Where work himself up to the top with him talent. And look what him do with the youth. And look like Usain Bolt father died other day and look like his dad kill him too. Stress kill him. You know, take it too hard. He might have some underlying issues, but when he hears them son lose so much money and work so hard, and them Usain Bolt parents, them was part of the Labour Party too, you know, and them fuck them up. They got one wicked piece of shit, you know. Me I tell you, you know. And you ma talk now about PMP this and PLI ma tell you right there, so nothing like that. Because them benefit of from FinSac. See I got what 2 million I say if you got come from FinSac. And that's why they don't want to put out the report, because they know they're gonna show something. But what them can do, you know, that's why I say they don't want the people them educated, because Bosamant is a talk about a selfish better than my mind Bosamant is a selfish better than education, you know. So they don't want Jamaica people educated, you know, because they don't want them wise. So at them people, you know, them have around them, so you can't tell them all them things there. And them not go out there and look and do research and things like that. So this brother, well, I know him alone, that's how the Labour Party set up, to be truthful. We hear this piece of shit.
And I have no doubt.
Yeah, so I'll give him all 2 bullets too.
Bullet, 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 bullet. Bullet.
Yeah, man, give him 2 bullets. Musical bullet, me I talk about, you know. Hear him.
That is what they want to come back to do to the Jamaican economy.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that is what they want to do, to come and get wealthy on the backs of the poor. I will not allow that to happen again in this country.
Yeah, hear that? That means say, and the people around him, you know, they fool them, you know. And them not see what go on, you know, because them dunce. Them mind. And I say, well, you can't read and write, you know, because you can't read and write, you're a fool, you know, because you have a thing named educated fool. But, you know, most of them film followers, them, you know, some people, them were really head no good. Are really back of the class people, them. Because they don't really read anything them people say. That it happened from Chicago days, you know. And you come out and fashionable and attack. That would never happen regularly, and them clap and ring the bell. And I know so I can them, you know. And as him getting a power, look what him do. Him have 28 bank account. Him wife a bill $800 million project, apartment project. Your mother used to sell in the market. Where she get the money from? All of the MP they rich. A 830-something billion pound accounted for, you know. But the country broke. And the people them still defend this money because what? Them brainwash. That's why I say me have to love PMP, you know, because PMP come with them smart, you know. PMP come with them smart. Different from the Labour right them. Because remember, you know, and the reason I say that, you know, because look, when PMP did 2020, and that's why Andrew Wallace called the election in the COVID, you know. 4 years before, well, 1 year and about 3 months before the election, it really drew. When he called election 2020, the election, it really drew 2021, you know. Yeah. But because him see the PMP party divided, I remember when a lot of divided are go on there, so, and them use that for them strength. Because I remember, you know, you have the Unite Party, the thing with Peter Phillip, when they break away, and Peter Bunting, them and some people, and then you come back again, you have the election, leadership election, with Lisa and things like that, and a lot of people that go on. So a lot of people turn off from that. So when Andrew called it, and Andrew used that, and he knows that I go on, so he used that and call the election in the COVID, and there again and buy the vote as well. So he couldn't lose. Right? Because divided party in win election. And what PMP do, because them is so bright and them angry, them stay away from the poll. And who not stay away, vote Labour right too. They just take out them anger, you know, because they saw as your comrade stay. So Andrew use that for him advantage. Right? And them get away with it. Loot and rob up the place, enriching themselves. Because remember, you know, you still have Ross Class 70th there, you know. Andrew, when it's come out, the Integrity Commission call him out, and he might deny it. I'll know declare him in the statutory declaration, I'll know 3.5 years. If him do it, but I hope Mark Wallen follow up him thing we matter about, because him supposed to go to prison. But anyway, we hear him I say. We hear this like a bastard I say. You're the little nonsense followers them. Some of them not getting out right, but them just a follower who upon bandwagon. Yeah, man. Watch him feel good now, because him have the clown them have back him. That's why I'm so strong, because that's why I'm saying again, them coming up power and them get rid of Jamal, because they don't want the fucking people them learn. They want to see it done. Some can get them $5,000 and the teacher, and at them make them win election. So you see, them people have a strategy. But I hope people wake up, Look what going on education. You to come out and can't even read and write properly. And a JLP. And him, Dirty Andrew Wallace, Dirty Andrew Wallace, he was education minister. And when he was education minister, what him do? Rob up the money. From the same I rob up the money, under Bruce Gorgan government when he was education minister. I rob up the money. That's why I have that big mansion in the Beverly Hills. From them time there, them boy there, I rob up money, And now him get power. He's a billion a year. Have 28 bank account. This piece of shit you see here. Bounty killer. Bullet it.
Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it,
Bullet
pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it.
Because I'm a pussy. Hear this.
And I hope that my voice is carrying. To the halls around here, so that those youngsters who don't know their history, who are brainwashed and misled.
But you ever said the youngsters who don't know them history. That's why I'm keep the country dunce, and that's why them spend less. And when Mark will come out there and talk about, and DAMION CRAWFORD come talk about the school meal, but PNP always do that. And Labour right much of the whole rest, like I don't want to educate people. And the whole of them you see in the parliament, so a manly policy make them, because them come on at the free education and a manly, the PNP. And you them come and talk out now. And I tell lies. And the people them buy it, but them run away. But because them don't really learn and they don't really look at themselves, try to learn and fucking get some knowledge, they don't do that. They just take everything what these pussy them say. And him still, because this guy like is a clan, Boy, I tell you, brother, I think Jamaican people don't grow out a certain fool thing and illiterate thing from a longer time. Yeah, man. Anyway, go and hear him.
Can understand that the real power is right here in this room with the young people who have had the knowledge and the understanding. People who are seeking to lead the country now, they benefited. When I said that they benefited, they became millionaires and billionaires on the backs of the people.
So not talk about the reverse psychology, You must say, boy, I tell you, that's where him come be, billionaires after the back of poor people. So you saw that guy are wicked and stink and lie. You know what I mean? Yo.
When they carried an economic policy called the high interest rate policy, which helped to drive up the debt, where one of their own MPs described it in a way, and I can only say he's an honest man, a man of the cloth, when he spoke about the high interest rate policy that some of them who want to lead the country today, they benefited from it. And their own person, their own member of parliament at the time described it as the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich.
What a boy lie, man.
And I have no doubt that that is what they want to come back to do to the Jamaican economy. I have no doubt that that is what they want to do, to come and get wealthy on the backs of the poor. I will not allow that to happen again in this.
Yeah, exactly that him do, you know. He ain't gonna do that. Portia Simpson, be a prime minister, she retired and she was nobody can investigate her for nothing. She was a normal woman, retire as a prime minister. Peter Phillip, you can't call him name for nothing. Michael Manley, he was a poor man. Well, when I say poor man, him not deal with corruption. Nobody had nothing upon him. And look on them and nastiness. Eh? That's what I'm saying, I talk it all the while. And God forbid when me say that, you know. If you see a diet in labor right and dead for hungry, and me say, you know, me can't help people. I mean, we have something to help them. But if me, to give them a rascal at crackers to save them life. We don't watch them. And it's when them pass out, we go keep a party. That's how me feel. And I'm a serious thing. And there's no joke about that. I mean, I'll take back that. You know? No, I'll take back that at all.
And I hope that my voice is carrying. To the halls around here, so that those youngsters who don't know their history, who are brainwashed and misled, can understand that the real power is right here in this room with the young people who have had the knowledge and the understanding. People who are seeking to lead the country now,
It's about too lie.
they benefited. When I said that they benefited, they became millionaires and billionaires on the backs of the people.
Why don't call him here?
When they carried an economic policy called the high interest rate policy, which helped to drive up the debt, where one of their own MPs described it in a way. And I can only say he's an honest man, a man of the clock. When he spoke about the high interest rate policy, that some...
So them skillful and tell lie. If you ever talk something positive when it comes to politics, and you say one of them who won the MP, talk something you can talk on, you call him name. DAMION CRAWFORD talk, him call Bruce Cole name. Why you can't call him? Call us lie Mattel. Because that's how them did things in a way. And they fool them around him. One make nice a ring bell. Them don't know say whether there's some psychological thing them have pull out on them, you know. Because him say one of them MP, him can't call a name, you know. So that's how this man is so smart and tricky. And not to tell lie. Monks the fool them when him have around him, the diety them. Because nothing go so. Him can't call a name. But that's how they do. Yeah, man, that's how they do and get them brass clad way. Boy, I mean, I tell you, so these people, you think them easy? Them not easy at all. Them just talk some blood clotting where I don't know. Them just talk something where anything come out of their mouth anyway. Anything come out of their mouth, them just talk it. And that's all it is. Anything come out of them nasty mouth. I mean, who them think them can't fool? Right? But me personally know them can't rascal at all. I mean, who them think them can't fool? Who? Who these people are think them can't fool? You tell me now. Who them think them can't rascal at fool? You have to sit down, man. Them rascal sit down, they too fucking lie and wicked. Yeah, they too lie and wicked. But in the end of the day, people have to just yeah, some people, you know, them not really they're not trying to find out things for themselves and easy to find out, you know, but they just people make people brainwash them. Because slavery done long time, you know. Slavery gone long time. So when I see white people gonna make some idiot like them people here come round and I trick them same way in a them time here. You know what I mean? When I see why. Because they're not really trying to find out something for themselves. And that's the problem with a lot of Jamaicans. You know what I mean? A lot of them. That's the problem with them. Because in the end of the day, people supposed to have a little bit of common sense, man. I know so well then. Because right now we are get shitty water to drink at Jamaica. We can kill you, or sick you, with the kids them. And the man show the fucking thing, the chart and everything. And you want to tell me say them people are still the hospital. Look for the hospital. No, sir. That fucking joke. Anyway, we read DAMION CRAWFORD. I got teach and beat and teach them now. And I'm going to talk the rascal fax. And when I talk about fax machine, you talk about fax and beat them. Because when Andrew Wallace just said a while, is a reverse psychology in play. Because the same thing when him talks to PMP I do, and that him come do in the 9 years when I'm in power. That nasty piece of shit yesterday. Yeah. I have style them, you know. Wicked.
There's even more information in the slides that the Prime Minister presented. In the slides that the Prime Minister presented, it proved that he had the worst performance since he got the baton.
Of course.
Indeed, in 2002, 2007, the inflation was 18.5% on average. The Bruce Golding government received the baton and reduced it by 6.2 percentage points and carried it down to 12.3%. The Portia Simpson Miller government got it and reduced it by 6 percentage points and carried it down to 6.3%. Andrew Holness got it and carried down to 5.5, a reduction of less than 1 percentage point. So he's making a big deal about, look how fast, when it's just that he got a good batter.
Yeah.
Prime Minister Bruce Golding reduced it by 6 percentage points. Prime Minister Portia Simpson reduced it by a further 6 percentage points. Yet they tried to convince us that the best Prime Minister we have ever seen reduced it by less than 1 percentage points. I had to ensure that a picture like this exists, but Holness has done the least. That's a KC man winning that race so beautifully, as we will later today. And Calabar is already at 4th or 5th or something like that. I'm afraid they're way around the corner. But I think they're coming behind even Edith Dalton today. Edith Dalton will beat them. So with the baton, he has done the least. He has also sought to prove misleading historical comparison. Prime Minister attempt to vilify the PMP by highlighting average inflation from 1989 to 2007. He, however, fails to highlight the global economic context, including oil price shocks, trade liberalization mandates, structural adjustment from the IMF, and they also fail to acknowledge that food inflation, which is the level of inflation affecting the majority of people, is at 7.4%. This highlights a persistent and significant burden on household budgets, especially for low and middle income Jamaicans, even while headline inflation remained within the BOJ target. Indeed, in our Parliament, in this Senate, I have made 3 presentations asking for a targeting of food inflation as well as a targeting of overall inflation. Because there are times that the overall inflation disguises the suffering of the average individual who don't spend on the entire basket that exists. They have never indicated that. So the food inflation is outside the target levels of inflation. Therefore, a large proportion of our society whose income is directed mainly to consumption of food is not being addressed by what is being posited by the inflation rate. The next level of lives that we're told would have been debt to GDP. This graph that I'm showing here is the exact same graph that was presented by Prime Minister Dr. Andronis. I'll give him the doctor until I hear further information. But Prime Minister Doctor, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Now let us look at the realities. Mr. President, they seek to sell this argument that the JLP are the great debt managers and the PMP is loose with the management of debt. They seek to sell that argument. Well, we have not bought that argument. Let's go to the
false narrative. False alarm. False alarm.
Let's look at the debt to GDP. Every time you come and say you need to check, you don't check. Check and come back, man. In 1962, the PMP handed the baton to the JLP. It's important for students to know that self-governance and independence are two different things. That before independence, we were governing ourselves, and both the PMP and the JLP existed. The PMP handed over the baton in 1962 at 20% debt to GDP. 20%. At the end of the JLP's first term, Bustamante term, and I think you shared that term, Sangster got a piece of it. So now give it because it's not so good. It moved to double 40%. So therefore, these great debt managers' debt in that period moved from where they got it at 20% to 40%. We then, if you wake up and think you know more economics than me, go back to sleep. And then,
congratulations
inflation
and celebrations.
So Michael Mann got the box in 1972 at 40%, and it moved up as well to 80%. However, Eddie Siaga got the button in 1980.
The financial whiz?
The financial whiz.
I wonder where it went.
It moved to 212%. That green line in the middle, the highest it has ever been, was under the Jamaican Labour Party, under the quote-unquote financial whiz. And forgot that he had a duty. And when the PMP got it, now what I have done here is to be truthful and fair. I have not, listen. No, I will give him a class later. Because I like when my friends are at the same level. It's not possibly too late. But what happened is that I have given with fairness. Because the election was before the 6th month, I have given 1990 to the People's National Party. 1989 to the People's National Party. But when the PMP actually got government, it was 260%. But we're going to work with 212. Because it's bad enough, we don't forget nothing more. And now we exaggerate. When the PMP got it, Mr. President, this government of the 18 years that they claim was poor in management and was debt-free, where I mean actually ballooned the debt. The truth is it dropped from 212 to 113%. How then have they been able to sell this lie that they are the fiscal party?
No, because them sell it because people them
because when they
them not no sense.
bamboozled the people in 2007.
The people them what them sell it to. Some dunce them, the labor right dirty them. Them in the drone and them say yeah. And some of them me always talk, so some of them when rain fall, them can't walk in them yard. They pay water and mud. And at them come out a ring bill. Just like a 5,000 a t-shirt. So anything you push on them, Them say, yeah. And blow cloud, wave flag, ring bell. So them type of people, that's why I'm selling it to them. You know, to the sensible people. Because we know other youth are grow up, what Manly stand for, what PMP stand for. So, you know, I just say go.
And it went over to Bruce Golding. It then went up again to 134%. So, what happens? You know, no, and most time I don't like speak to Bruce Golding in the parliament because my good friend is across the room. And his daughter, and there's relationship. And I respect that, I really do. And I rate Bruce Golding, I'm telling you the truth. No, I rate him. He's one of the brightest politicians I have seen. But the facts matters that with all things considered, it moved from 113% and increased under the JLP. Every single time that they have gotten it, there's an increase. The people found their way. And by the way, in that time, failed IMF tests. In that time, could not sit. I don't want to follow that example. Didn't show up for the test. Yes?
This exam all the time.
And when the PNP got it, it reduced to 124.5. This is the party that they're saying don't have no fiscal discipline. The facts. No, the presentation not done. Just wait no, man. I'm still at primary school. I'm going to carry to high school after and then college. It soon come. The only time that the JLP has reduced what they have gotten from the PMP is this time. And it is because any law-abiding government would follow the fiscal rules that were set by the People's National Party.
Yeah, but not them.
Any law-abiding individual who was Prime Minister or Minister of Finance now would have carried out the same exact trajectory that we have agreed to under the fiscal policy rule.
For the good of the country.
But let
For the good of the country.
And you have answer for me after? All right, good. All right, you will be with it. Cool. In 1962, leave it? All right, cool. Because today a big day, a record we broke him. The JLP got it in 1962 at 20%. They doubled it. That's not excellent management. The PMP got it at 40%. It increased. Not excellent management, based on the proxy of management. Is a rise in debt to GDP is a proxy of management. You know. That is what they have put forward. The JLP got it in 1980 and carried it from 80% to 212%. And then to 260% and giving over the button. If I was at Champs, I would have known but I run. You know, sometimes everybody say, yo, I'm not running, man. But because of our confidence and commitment, we ran as fast as we could. Now, a government that took the debt to GDP down by 100% reduction. I think you can't get 100% reduction. That would be incorrect. 100% reduction would be zero. So therefore, it is a 50% reduction. The increase would be the 100, but the reduction is 50. I have to make sure the kids understand. Therefore, you take it down by 100 percentage points. From 212 to 113. That is the government they're trying to sell as being a bad government and debt unconscious. After that, they got it and carried it up again. They did not find their way in our lifetime. Because we now compare long-time Brazil, you know, to Argentina. It's now Brazil to now Argentina. This group of individuals here, I was present, you were present, most of us were present in 2011. You were here, yes. Most of them over there were here.
Yes.
They were in the shadows. They were in the shadows. In the shadows. At that time, Dana was our party. They don't was PMP that time. They took it from 113 to, he was feeding at the trough, 134. So therefore, this argument of debt, mismanagement, and non-fiscal, the numbers don't show that. Unquote. Fiscal rules that he's claiming to be father, godfather, or grandfather of. He suggested that he sold the country to the IMF.
We have a name for that.
Yes, your failure, not taking the IMF test preceded it. Yeah. Ready again? If it is, I'm not giving that one. Because that one is exaggeration. Give me another one. Exaggeration. I'm not going to exaggeration. They're claiming paternity.
We have a name for it.
They're claiming paternity for Jamaica's fiscal turnaround. And they say that the period 2007 to 2011 is proof of that paternity. First of all, let us acknowledge that not even with style is safe. Remember last year in this house, I come and say, I have the paternity and Andrew's not the father. Yeah. The man take the style. They take the plans. They take the ideas and the style. And then over-promote the style and say that he's a good communicator. He rate me, man. He rate me. But let us look in divorce court. What happened in 2007 to 2011? The IMF suspended disbursement to Jamaica in 2011. The IMF refused to give them anything more. It says during the JLP administration led by Bruce Gorgan, the IMF suspended disbursement. Let's go into details. February 2010, Jamaica entered a 27-month standby agreement with the IMF. What happened before February 2010? In 2007, the United States financial meltdown. Audley Shaw, the then Minister of Finance, 2008, said that Jamaica will benefit. Don't forget also that Andrew Holness was a senior member of that cabinet. So while Audley Shaw was the one speaking, he was speaking on behalf of the entire Jamaica Labour Party cabinet.
Yeah, of course.
It's like over here on the platform, my friend Senator Steve Wright said, Senator Crawford, I know him like to talk. Like I'm not talking business, we know. It's like saying boat like to run. Man in a running business. He said they're going to raise the tax, and if he said it, then that is the PNP. I can't listen to him enough. But he don't want to tell you that Minister Delroy Chuck said I'm going to legalize Obia. Is that what the JLP going to do? Him going about how he said. They were speaking on behalf of Andrew Holness. And when they ignored that financial crisis, and the negatives started to pile up, they went back to the IMF in 2010. By January 2011, less than a year, the program had gone off track. What were the reasons? Slippage in meeting fiscal targets, the one that we set and meet every time in 2011 to 2016. They're saying that we are less fiscally responsible when the evidence said we met all our fiscal targets than those who did not.
Yeah, like them tell man. Them tell me talk right now. I put it down the same rascal people are full of them.
And then it says inadequate progress on structural reforms. Not adequate, you know. Inadequate. The opposite of adequate. So much so that a warning wasn't sufficient. But cease and desist from giving any money. As a result, The IMF halted disbursement. And guess what happened? And other partners such as the World Bank, the IDB, and the EU also withheld funding. So when IMF did it, it wasn't because PMP talked to them, because that's what they'll go on the radio with later. That PMP tell IMF not to give them. The World Bank says true. The EU said facts. The IDB said, what manner of a government is this? Who was over there? The current Prime Minister was over there. Later became Prime Minister on the back of Bruce Golding. What happened between 2011 when he promised bitter medicine and 2016 when he could say prosperity? The only thing that happened is the PMP turned around the fortunes of this country. Go further. And we have to look now at the period 1989 to 2007. Several financial institutions, they call this the FinZac crisis. FinZac period. It's an improper name. It's the financial crisis. The answer was FinZac, not the question, not the problem. I'll come into it further. The answer was FinZac. But let's go. Several financial institutions. I can send them the script, you know. All right, we soon reach to kill self. You soon hear. Several financial institutions, banks, and insurance companies are what we call financial institutions. They collapsed due to poor regulatory oversight, high interest rate, and overexposure to bad loans. Out of that, the PMP government created FinZac, Financial Sector Adjustment Company, to bail out and manage the crisis. What was the impact? Massive increase in public debt. Over 40% of GDP just to resolve the crisis. Inflationary pressures from fiscal strain and loss of confidence. So if I want you to go back up to the graph Prime Minister Holness presented. That one. And I want us to pay attention to that graph. If you look at that is 1997. So we get it 1989. By the way, this is just after Gilbert, September 1988. So therefore, because this hurricane will never ever come Jamaica, they are saying that it is the reason why them are fail and everything mash up. Gilbert, that wrecked Jamaica. Completely. By 3 years' time, 4 years, 1993, the debt to GDP ratio was 72%. We took it from 212% to 72%. And this is the government that they say is not disciplined. Oh, could it be? Oh, boy. At that time, if you look at the graph there from 1993. Is the Prime Minister's graph?
All right, the speaker's time having expired. Senator Morris.
Mr. President, the speaker's time for telling us about lies has expired, I believe, but I think he has maybe 5 more minutes. May he be allowed to finish his interesting presentation, and I hope the students aren't listening too much.
No. All right, so the question is that
I want to look at idiot, you know. The man of vote for her, you know. She appointed fucking information minister and education minister. And you let's go draw out a job or something. But the man a tell lie. Look at she. The man of vote for her. She's not an MP. We said, boy, them bright, you know, brother. No, sir.
That the speaker's time be extended so that he can finish his presentation. Those in favor? Aye. Those against the ayes have it, Senator Crawford.
It has fallen to me to rebut 5 hours of lies. I need a little time. And I want to say to my students, I want you to listen. Don't necessarily believe everything you hear, but go and check it. That is all we need. Listen to me, listen to them, and then Google. Because the truth is an enemy of that side. This graph is a graph presented by the Prime Minister himself. All I do was screenshot it on my computer and put it up. And they say it's revisionist. then what if I drew the graph? Oh, that. Because, can you imagine that, man? Go down. They disown the graph because the graph proved them wrong.
Just because you are present the graph, then disown it.
Oh, boy, come down. Yes. Massive
Come down,
increase
man,
in
come
debt. So
down.
if you look back, we don't have to go back to it, but if you look, you see the climb in debt at the cost of resolving the financial crisis that happened at that time. Up till now, I'm not rich, so I'm not, them time they barely attend, so it couldn't be me. Don't forget that many, wasn't there an MP that owned a bank? A JLP MP at the time, along with a Nigerian chief? Wasn't that PNP MP? No. Okay. Wasn't there MPs that got bailed out because their debt wasn't clear?
And there was a former prime
Cabinet
minister
members.
who got a loan.
All right.
And claimed saying, forget it.
He forget it. Make we talk about it. So the PMP's response was to introduce strict financial regulations. Created Financial Service Commission, the FSC, and Deposit Insurance Corporation, the JDIC. So therefore, the changes that were necessary were not done by the JLP, they were done by the People's National Party.
Absolutely.
And they want to claim that the soft management systems, they had no role, when the vast majority of years before they were in power. So how could they, why didn't they put the JDIC when they were in power of 1980, when the financial guru was in power? Okay, well, I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know. So make we come, I come into it. Hey, listen, he was reading but not understanding it. What happened? Yeah. In the know what to do. Jamaica phased out protection for local industries. And hold on, Mr. President, beg you the class need a little settling down.
All right, but you know, Senator Crawford,
yes,
you allow yourself to get distracted by this side. And you allow yourself to get distracted.
You are the speaker, you supposed to control the house.
No, look here.
You are the house, you supposed to control the house. That's how it's going to England. Them people them so fucking one-sided and biased, you know. You're supposed to fucking get out of the house because you enjoying it, because you're a big thinking piece of labor right shit, you.
Minister,
yes,
graciously asked for an extension of your time and you got it.
Yes.
Focus on your presentation and let us get through your presentation.
But the difference,
right?
Mr. President, is that this is the staff room, the classroom.
All right, there you go again. And those added comments is what extends it.
All right, and tell them to start them nice then.
All right.
What happened in the 1990s? Jamaica faced out protection for local industries. The people who the milk will tell you about it.
I'm not talking the food one them, you know.
Decision that they made
and them nasty one about my empty in the house.
That
I don't know where your house.
Saying you cannot get a loan unless you abide to the Washington Consensus.
Only the cockroach, shrink and fly.
The Washington Consensus was fueled by Thatcher and Reagan, who were the best of friends to the Jamaica Labour Party.
Absolutely.
We can give quotes of Reagan saying that he'll make sure they are successful. Yeah. They then came and say at this point that the debt to GDP was 260%. If you want any help, you must liberalize farming. You must liberalize banking. You must make the foreign exchange be based on the market forces. You must make interest rate be based on the market forces. This wasn't a decision that the PMP said, we are going to do that. If we were to survive after what they did up to 1989, an IMF loan was necessary. And so the liberalization happened. Many of our industries died. The world moved towards full trade liberalization. Local industries, and agriculture collapsed under cheap import. I want you to Google milk powder's impact on the milk industry. Job losses and rural dislocation. Currency depreciation and inflation as markets opened rapidly. What was the PMP response? Introduce social safety net like PATH. Yes. Anybody who benefits from the PATH program should be reminded that that is the work of the People's National Party. It then focused on tourism and services to replace lost industry. They used to say pipeline when we were seeking the Spanish to come. Yes. We carried the Spanish here. That's right. We established the processes for, at that time, sandals to grow, and at that time, breezes, super clubs to grow. Yeah, man. Don't worry yourself. You soon get an explanation. What happened? Global oil prices spiked during the Gulf War and again in early 2000. Jamaica, being oil dependent, saw increased transportation and electricity costs, and of course bauxite would have faced challenges because of the energy consumption that it did. Notably, there were some events. I hear they crying about what this last one named Beryl. Beryl touched down on St. Elizabeth, and after Beryl, I was out the next day driving up and down. What happened in the PMP's time? Hurricane Gilbert was September 1988. Bad. It lingered over into February 1989, which we had.
It was a bad one.
Hurricane Ivan was in 2004. Hurricane Dean was in 2007. Destroyed crops, infrastructure and homes, created food inflation, reconstruction costs. The PMP had to deal with that. The EU ACP agreement ended. Now, because we were, what do you call that again? We were colonies. We had a preferential treatment where we sell our bananas at higher prices. So Britain was saying, we're going to give you some repayment for what we have done. And they did that with special banana prices, special sugar prices.
Senator Crawford, address me now.
Oh, you want to learn too? All right. So they did that special banana prices, special sugar prices. When Chiquita and Dole, Mr. President researched Chiquita and Dole, carried up.
What I want you to do is address the bill before me.
That's what you mean.
What you are doing, I want you to address this.
Oh, no, can't take these licks.
What you are doing, really, right?
The Prime Minister
we appreciate it, you know.
Things is the Prime Minister graph.
We appreciate it. But see the time,
you know, I'm no lick figure.
One almost.
So the people buy us trivial. But I tell you, you know, we never hear this and see this yet. When the JLP attack, they make them talk till thy kingdom come. And because them want to lick them with truth, them can't take it. They might intervene and I talk about if it's switch or something else. But boy, I tell you, you know, we're under pressure, but we can't fucking stop what we're going to reach, you know. Believe you me. We're too petty.
Almost.
You have Finan.
1 o'clock.
They can't take these leaks. Chiquita and Dole went to court. They carried Britain to court and suggested that this was against WTO agreement. When they won that case, the British had to end preferential treatment for sugar and banana. Because we were dependent on those preferential treatment, that is how banana died quickly, and thereafter sugar also died. Led to job losses, rural economic decline. In that period up to 2007, there was also 9/11. These people forget.
How soon they forget.
Like it's them alone. In 9/11, when the planes crashed into the World Trade Center, this was September 11, 2001 it was. GDP growth slowed, government revenue dropped, tourism massive decline, and it wasn't a world lock, world open. It was a fear of travel that permeated the world and lasted for a very long time. But in spite of all of that, in the period 1989 to 2007, the PMP ended IMF borrowing relationship and passed 12 consecutive IMF tests.
You don't want to hear them things, man.
The IMF test has
That's
been
why they want to
used
shut you.
over the last 9 years as a proxy of good governance and fiscal responsibility. Yet the passing of 12 IMF tests in that period is ignored to say that they were fiscally impossible. The same reality. Macroeconomic reform happened. They managed the fiscal sector crisis through FinSAC, protected over 1.5 million depositors who had money in the bank, and 570,000 policyholders. They also did Highway 2000 and finished Highway 2000, not in the same way they're doing now over into St. Thomas, that you have to dig up and repave and flood out people's yards. Airport modernization, water, energy and telecommunications improved.
And them opposed the telecommunications bill in the past.
Housing and land reform. In that period, the PMP government built 150,000 houses.
Wow.
Include completion of Greater Portmore with over 10,000 homes.
Compared to 190 house when JLP billion 9 years. You know, I tell you, them people some brass flat, Dally House government, you know. Yeah, man.
And that was in 1995 alone. 58,000 families received land titles under what they are trying to malign, the Operation Pride program.
Absolutely.
Health system stretched. National Health Fund was established by the People's National Party.
Yes, 2003.
Major hospital upgrades. KPH.
Compared to now.
Mandeville. Spanish Town. Bustamante. Maypen was built. And Mandeville was built. Upgraded. And at that time, there was no cost overrun to the tune of Cornwall Regional. They are telling us that a group of individuals that told the country that Cornwall Regional will take 2 billion.
Robbery, man. Robbery.
Gone 22 billion. And counting.
BFS robbery. JLP account BFS robbery. Yeah, this talk what the man I tell you the PMP do, you know. And a hospital a refurbish from 2017 and it started fucking allocated about what 2 point something billion. And now is what 26 billion. Where all these money there? And the hospital and near completed. And it's not a hospital in my bill, you know. It's not a new hospital in my bill. You check 2017 till now, 2025, and the hospital still no finish repair, renovate. People are still asleep on cardboard, on chair, in a fucking hallway. No CC, scan machine, lot of things. Whether they're the hospital, and look at the man point out with PMP do. So they don't want to hear them things here. They mash the country like callaloo. You know, when you boil callaloo soup, people, and you get a nice fresh callaloo them, and you got to throw the callaloo soup, you know. One of the wickedest soup that, you know. You get the fresh greens, them, organic greens, strip them, boil them down, put them in a bowl and crush them, crush them, crush them. Yeah, man. I saw them crush Jamaica. And have the nerve.
Beg some.
You know, can't blood clam or bully people.
None of us in this room. Anything? Is it not true that it reached 22 billion?
It's true.
Is it not true that the projection was 2 billion? Is
Yeah.
it not true that it has been changed about 6 times?
Yeah.
Under 8 years. 8 years.
5 billion more? Yes. You can answer when at your time.
Boy, oh boy. God.
That's what they call it.
If a mason come to my yard and tell me to fix a problem is 2 million, and then come back to say, by the way, it's 22, me and him fight. It will never. Expansion of scope. They will not accept that in their own lives, but they accept it in the country's lives. Drugs for the elderly program was set up. Education. Listen, they keep saying the Jamaica, you call election, call it, make them decide then, no, man. Then call it now. You want me to call it? Call it now, man. We and the Jamaican people ready. We can't bother with the act party. The Jamaican people ready to decide.
You're right, man.
Education and human capital development.
In that
period, tertiary access jumped. University participation rose from 6.5% in 1991 to 19.5% in 2004.
Yes, I moved from 1 university to 6.
Universal Access Fund was also created. And we had a 500% increase in cell phones, and new fiber optic infrastructure was laid.
And we had to amend the legislation.
Some of these people seem to believe that the cell phone came just like that. And if you have money, you buy a phone. Cellular phones could not have worked if the fiber optics were not run and the necessary infrastructure were not put in place. It was the People's National Party that did that.
And I sat in here when them opposed the bill.
But I want you to also hear this. Poverty rate reduced from 28.4% in 1990 to 9.9% in 2007. This was due to efforts such as the PATH program, the National Poverty Eradication Program that was targeted. 800 million US at that time, billions now in today's money, in investments, and the TEF fund was established. Now let us compare periods. Tertiary enrollment increased by 306%. Students getting access to universities and colleges. It moved up by 306%. Let us look at Andrew Holness' period from 2016 to 2024. It moved up by 3%. It's by 3. You can see it with them, 3%. And they said this is the greatest. What variable are we using to analyze that variable? You not have the ability. They write a speech from yesterday, never know what I'm going to say. The growth, I'm quoting Minister Holness now, Prime Minister Holness, and poverty. He says, the graph now being displayed, this is the exact graph that the Prime Minister displayed. The graph now being displayed illustrates the trajectory of poverty prevalence in our country. It clearly shows that under my administration, meaning my Andrew Holness administration, we have achieved a steady and measurable decline in poverty, apart from temporary spikes in 2020 caused by the pandemic. This is a direct quotation of Andrew Holness. Now let us look at the graph. They received in 2016, because his administration is 2016 to now 2024. In 2016, poverty was 11.6%. And now it is 12.1%. It has increased. Yet we have a Prime Minister that says this graph that shows an increase in his administration clearly shows that under his administration there's a steady and measurable decline.
That, you know, the man shall lie in the verse.
In his administration.
I mean, I want to give you a fool, you know.
He didn't say there's a decline since COVID. I couldn't argue with that because it goes to 21%. He didn't say after we caused a spike in 2017 up to 19.3%, there's a decline. This man said, how can we trust a man like that?
Lie, man,
who
lie,
said that
fuck.
In my administration, from 2016 to 2024,
put it on them, damn dear man. Put it on them.
it at 11.6.
Put it on them,
And
dear
it is
man.
now
Put it on them.
Above what it was. Above what it was.
Wicked and lie.
Let us
Every
look.
liar is a thief, you know.
Let us look. Sophie, move it quickly, because these are the Prime Minister's words, not my words. Move again, Sophie. No, listen, no, make it stay there now. This is what poverty handing over was. In 1988, the JLP handed over to the PMP a poverty rate of 30.5%. Senator Bunting, you seen that? I want you to put on your glasses, good. 1988, the end, that is the last part of the year now. So we give them just that now. So we get it 89, 30.5%. The PMP administration that they lambast took it down under PJ Patterson and Portia Simpson Miller later to 9.9%.
Absolutely.
Hold on now. Hold on now. The JLP then won in 2011. So we give them it 2007. We give them it at 9.9. They carried it to 19.9%.
No, God. No, sir.
More than 7. Wait, no man, make them stay, no man. We don't have time for talk.
You have a sound of trumpet.
Wait,
this. No, no,
the PMP got it back.
No, sir.
And moved it from 19.9 to 11. Which party is the party for the poor?
That means, sir. That means as simple as that.
All kind of reasons now.
That's the stats, sir. We can't beat that.
You should apologize to the people.
Yeah.
Google it.
Look at the fuckers, them, man.
Google it. No, Google all behind time. AI it, chat GPT it. You know what? Deep seek it. Make a repeat.
Put on things for them, dear
In
man.
1988, the last day of 1988, poverty was 30.5%, created by the administration of Edward Seaga.
That's the year we started to measure.
The PMP started now and fought everything that we fought, including what they say is FINZAC, including 3 hurricane, including liberalization, including IMF, including bank failure. We took it from 30.5 to 9.9.
Absolutely. Complete analysis.
They then, so we saw the trajectory that was happening.
Yes.
And the people say, you know what? Make us see what go on. Some young people said, I never seen no labor. I said, let me try. And they won. What happened? It moved from 9 to 19%.
Disgrace.
Based on what they're saying, labor rights salt, man. Every time they come in, it mash up. Every time labor rights come in, something go wrong. We don't want a more salt government, man. They then take it from 9.9 to 19.9. All right? We take it back. And what happened?
What happened?
It went down again dramatically to 11. And the Prime Minister, who says that clearly it is going down under his administration, have moved it from 11 to 12.1. What can
Look at them try the people.
Like what?
Labor rights. PMP take it down to 9.
I think we have that sufficiently.
Can't beat them charge, man. That's his
let's
fault.
look in the madness.
No, that's Marlon written up there.
This is the Prime Minister's quotation. It's for them words, man. Use it.
Use it.
And for them graph. You come like some people when I do the SBA and expect to pass exam.
Hello. Just continue.
A one-sided thing. I don't understand.
But you don't sort of just did. I asked him to just leave you alone so you can continue.
He doesn't have that in his repertoire, sir.
I just move
Well,
on.
leave the man alone and shut your mouth now.
The Prime Minister's statement, he says, in the mid-1990s, Jamaica faced a financial sector crisis, which resulted in the collapse of a number of financial institutions. This financial sector meltdown was not caused by any exogenous shock or global crisis. In fact, the US, our major trading partner, had robust growth in the 1990s, averaging 3.4% per annum. This was purely caused by bad governance, he says, bad policy choices, he says, and poor superintendence, he continues, of the economy. FinZac was a homegrown domestic crisis, he says, wholly caused by the PMP, for which we now are only just recovering. This is a statement by Prime Minister Andrew Holness in the budget debate. Now let us check the facts, Senator Bunting, Senator Scott Matley, Senator Fraser Binns. According to data compiled by the World Bank and the IMF, more than 130 countries experienced bank sector distress between 1980 and 2002. More than 130 countries. Was P.J. Patterson the Prime Minister of 130 countries? Was Omar Davies the Finance Minister of 130 countries?
That's not the point. Domestic policy. You have no point. Shut up, man.
But him don't understand this thing. When you are looking for a causal effect.
Mr. Bunting, stop it. Mr. Morgan, give the Senator Crawford.
I got
You have
you
been at
one
it now
rascal
for an hour. Your
police.
colleagues have, in my view, given you a free rein to finish your presentation.
Well, the man rights.
You have a number of speakers and you're touching on an hour now. So I'm asking the members just to allow you to complete without the intervention, either
And
support
don't forget the
or
Prime Minister
otherwise.
took 5 hours.
Come again?
Don't forget the Prime Minister take 5.
Prime Minister.
That's why I not take 5, I take 2. No,
you see, you are the ones that gave him
I don't
the
need
time
to be close
to
to
finish.
the leader of the party, is Mark Golding. A master. Ready.
Well, the
If
truth,
you're going
man.
to
They
look
try to
at
tell
the
the truth.
causal impact, which they are suggesting, that bad government was a causal impact, then that causal impact must be specific to the space that the outcome is coming from. Now, what happens? Crises in over 40 developing and transitioning economies. Many required bailouts. Asset management companies were formed, such as FinZac and IMF programs to stabilize. Let's have to move quick, so make we move quick. What were some of these countries? Countries such as Mexico, Thailand, Indonesia, North Korea, Malaysia, Russia, Turkey, Brazil, and yes, Jamaica. Go again. Come here, hurry up now. Some countries did not save their depositors. Some countries did not intervene on behalf of the pensioners, the poor people. So there were places that people lost money. Saving the money of the depositors was a conscious decision of the People's National Party government.
You're here.
We see Argentina, Russia, Kenya, all of them lost. Come, we have moved quicker. I don't want them to stop me before I reach the sweet part. I don't reach the sweet part yet, you know? No, make them stop me. Give me back that stuff. Yeah. Come, give me back that. No, I can't skip that. I don't want to waste no time. Give me, go ahead. A question we should ask the JLP is, what was their alternative? What would they have done if that wasn't the case? What would have happened? Give me it, Sophie. If the PMP did not intervene, there would have been over a dozen financial institutions that would have been already insolvent or on the verge of collapse. Without intervention, many more would have collapsed. Loss of depositors' funds, especially small savers, poor people. Loss of pension savings for retirees. Frozen or inaccessible accounts, triggering panic. Widespread loss of public confidence. Move, Sophie, we have to move quick because they want to stop us. Massive contraction in credit investment. Business would be unable to access loans or credit lines. Small and medium-sized enterprises, which are critical for employment, would have gone bankrupt. This would lead to mass layoffs, reducing income and sharp recession. GDP would plummet due to business closure, decreased consumption, investors pull out. Pensioners and workers would have been devastated. Many older Jamaicans would have fallen into poverty, unable to meet basic needs. Social unrest and instability would have evolved. Crime would have risen. Would have lost international credibility and can't get any debt to borrow at this particular point in time. The only way to protect depositors and maintain systematic stability was for the government to buy out the bad loans, recapitalize key institutions, and rebuild confidence. And was there a cost to that? Yes. We had to borrow to be able to afford that. Move ahead because we don't want them sick. But we'll put out the slides. That will show you what happened in other countries that didn't do it. We'll put out the slide. It was hard, but a wise decision. You can Google Argentina versus Jamaica financial meltdown. Come again. What would they want us to do? They will want us to follow what they're doing now with SSL. That when people like Bolton and some other people lose their money, them tell them hold up them stress. That is what they would have wanted us to do. They would have said that is fool who put it in there is that we telling them. Had we done that, there would have been straight destabilization of our society. Let's go to unemployment. Yes, because me I try hurry up. It's not being allowed. Don't rush. Talk to me now. All right, then talk to me. Let's go to unemployment. No, I'm not questioning. Give me a chance. Take a sip of water. Take a sip. Take a sip.
Take a sip. Take 2 sips. 3 sips if necessary.
My sign language expert is tired right now. Let's go. I'm not questioning the measurement of unemployment. And it suggests that 3.5% unemployment exists. However, Mr. President, we're nowhere near full employment. In economic terms, full employment doesn't mean zero unemployment. It means that nearly everyone who wants to work and is actively seeking work can find a job. A rate around 3 to 5 is often considered full employment by global standards. Now, within that, you have other types of unemployment, hidden unemployment. There is the L2, which is the number of persons who want to work for 40 hours but not working for 40 hours. So therefore, they're underemployed. Like a man get a day's work or a 2 days work, she go wash, she's underemployed. So when we say underemployment, it's not only a person working below the job of its qualification, but the consumption of its hours is not to what they desire. And then there's L3, there's people within the potential labor force that they're still interested in working, but them not find none. So them kind of not look, but they're still interested. But let us move forward. So that's hidden. However, the working age population, and this is from the book produced by the government, the FPP, the fiscal policy paper. It says working age population is 2,156,000. Willing to work is 1,468,300. Not seeking work is 687,700 people. Listen again. Now, they are not factored into the consideration of our unemployment rate. So it seems we have an unemployed and a not employed, which is different. Oh, okay. 687,000 people. Now, if we put our head in the sand and celebrate the full employment 3.5, we almost have to import people and not look at 687 people that have surrendered. 1,000 have surrendered. Come, let's go. No, I am not trying to exaggerate. So in my research, I found that the workforce is really 14 to 75. So there's some within that 687 that shouldn't legitimately be in that because they'll be in school and stuff like that. So therefore, I removed in school 144,000. And I removed 65 plus 231,000 because I'm not trying to lie by exaggeration. It still leaves disengaged labor of ripe labor age, 312,000. There's no policy, there's no promotion, there's nothing in the budget other than $20,000. All right, we'll soon reach that. These 300,000 people, I can put it to you, are depressed. No wonder they're seeking to divert their mental state from morning till night. The only way an individual can seek to alter their mental state through alcohol consumption and drug consumption from the time of waking up to the time of going to bed is if they're in mental pain. They have given up, become fodder for gangs. Not in the budget.
Gangs stop keep 100 gangs down from 350. Gangs have a stop keep.
Well, you carry me to crime. You read my speech. Crime. I'm reading my speech. The biggest year over year jump in murder is 1979 to 1980. You hear people talk about PGM. The biggest jump was when the JLP decided that by any means necessary they'll win the next election. And that was 1979, it was 351 murders. 1980, it got to 899 murders. I must accept that the first year Jamaica murder count exceeded 1,000 was under the PMP's administration, and that was 1997. The highest murder year was also I think that is incorrect. I think it's... Oh, okay. I'll check it. I think, but all right. So this is correct. So the highest murder rate here was under the Jamaica Labour Party. The second was under us. Oh Lord, let's go further. Let's go further. I never wanted to tell a lie. Ready? Now, let us look, Mr. President. Mr. President, I beg you some opportunity. Let us look. I want to hurry up. Let us look at who is the best and the worst Prime Minister as it relates to murder rate. Under Bustamante, all of this is what the Prime Minister presented, you know. All of this is what the this particular graph, this slide, this table was taken directly from the Prime Minister's speech. Ready now? Was ready? Hold on. No, not this one. I'm lying. This was yes. No, sorry. I apologize. This is not the one. This comes from an analysis of the one. I'll carry the one soon. So I apologize. That is not true. This one is not true. But let's look at the numbers. Under Bustamante, the average murder rate for his term was 92.4 murders per year. Under Michael Manley, as Prime Minister, 1972 to 1980, the average murder rate for his term was 362.78 murders per year. Under Edward Seaga, 1981 to 1988, the average murder rate was 446 per year. Under P.J. Patterson with Michael Manley, the average murder rate was 932 per year. Under Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness, the murder rate was 1,458 per year. The worst performing group as it relates to murders in this country. Under Portia Simpson, with the assistance of the leader of opposition business, Peter Bunting, and the assistance of Divine Intervention, there was a 1,127. Under this government, this administration, Andrew Holness only, murder is 1,390 per year, the second highest. And he wants to disguise that by saying we had a good month, or a good day, or a good quarter. Under his superintendence, murder is 1,390. Go further. Yeah, we good man. Call it Andrew. Look at the graph there.
Senator Brown, you don't have to stand, you don't have to get up. Senator Brown.
And the acting chair spoke to him. I really believe the decorum of the Senate.
You talking about decorum?
Yes, I am doing so. The decorum of the Senate.
Hello, please. Hello, please. Senator Brown, I hear you. Gentlemen, ladies, members of the Senate, please allow the member to complete.
I'm coming to the...
Go ahead, Senator. It's just...
You don't want to be associated with what's being...
Senator Brown, I need to apologize to you. You rose and said that it was a question of decorum, but coming from you, I found that a bit startling. But I apologize.
Well, make a
Go
hurry
ahead.
up. I want to finish. Mr. President, look at that. Look at that graph, Mr. President. Mr. President, look at that graph. The Prime Minister has suggested that the superintendence of crime is a proxy of performance. They have said that. I heard a radio station said the murder Prime Minister is P.J. Patterson. Well, let's look into it. The Prime Minister said in the budget that the control of crime is essential for development. This is the budget. The highest year of yearly murders in this country, under the highest average of yearly murders in this country under any government, was under the Bruce Golden 27 to 2011. The second highest year is under Andrew Holness. And yet they say they are better at managing crime than the PMP. How? Them say this is the start. The numbers are there. You have the numbers? So what is the fact? They never did?
Everything them rascal and deny, you know, when it's true.
Let's look at this iteration. From 2012, where some of us were present, to now. The gold medal, 2017. Highest murder rate in this period, 1,600. Just look at the whole of the front part. Them that dominate champs. JLP 2017, JLP 2022, JLP 2021, JLP 2023, JLP 2016, JLP 2019, JLP 2020, JLP 2018. Every lane full. And look at what we had. 4 of the 5 lowest murder rates. What am I going to say now? Financial crisis? Gorgan. The Prime Minister said in his speech, if you increase it and decrease it, how you forget praise when you don't reach where it was when you got it? I don't understand what they're saying. Let us recall the Prime Minister says, and this is from his budget speech, I quote, let us recall that the drop in murders from 2009 to 2014, for which the opposition seeks to take credit, was a direct result of the SOE launched in May 2010 by Jamaica Labour Party administration.
Foolishness.
Remember what I tell you they're depending on.
Foolishness.
That the children don't know and the adults have forgotten. Let me remind them. The May 2010 state of emergency was not an effort or a decision to fight crime. It was based on the fact, you know what you said, that there was a crisis in Tivoli Garden. In 2009, let us remind the people, the United States requested the extradition of Dodos Coke, who was a known gang leader and a considered head of the Shower Posse, a violent transnational criminal organization. He was also seen as a powerful figure with political loyalty to the Jamaica Labour Party. Ready now. The government chose to delay from 2009 to 2010. The Jamaica government under Prime Minister Bruce Golden resisted the request for the extradition,
including Andrew
of, he was leader of government business.
Yes.
Andrew Holness was a senior member of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Yes.
The JLP then hired a firm. You hear what I said they did? They hired a firm to block the extradition. Manat, Phelps and Phillips.
No. You don't have to elaborate.
Yeah, make we take it. Make we hear.
Point of order. Yeah, it's a point of order. It's a point of order. Mr. President, whilst we all tend to be liberal in respect to presentations that are made by members, and I think that the comments, a lot of his presentation is irrelevant to the bill. It is irrelevant. It is irrelevant.
And sit down.
Well,
you look like a blood clot fired wood.
We are in this chamber, and there is a standing order that says that presentations must be relevant to the bill, not relevant to any discussion that may have taken place or debate that have taken place elsewhere. Right? And Senator Crawford has been given wide latitude, Mr. President. And I'm asking
Senator
that
Crawford, you hear what, the objection is?
Yes.
must
Can
be
I
relevant
respond,
to the
Mr.
bill,
President?
related to the bill.
Can I respond?
Senator Brown. Senator Brown.
It's important.
It's what you're addressing.
I am addressing.
That's not what in this bill?
Yes.
Yes, right.
No.
Minister of National Security, everything.
Yeah.
But
But
let
you
me
don't
answer.
have wide
Can I answer,
latitude to
Mr.
speak about
President?
everything.
Because I want to finish.
No, when Senator Brown and Senator Sinclair finish, I'll address
But
you.
sir, I want to finish, sir.
Let Senator Brown go on.
We have the 400 hurdles to go watch.
How much me have left, Sophie?
Senator Crawford. You sit down on the side of the chair now drinking water. You're not a champs yet, you know.
Mr. President.
But you see, I am the starter, you know. You get the picture?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I don't want you to disqualify me. Don't disqualify me.
I want you to, Senator Crawford, stick to the bill.
Yes.
Right? And with the greatest of respect, you have been given the latitude. It's 5 minutes past 1. I would appreciate
I'm trying
if
to
you
finish
were
the
to wrap
disrupting.
up. No,
But
man,
Mr. President,
you're encouraged. You
can I
encourage
respond,
the
sir?
disruption. No, just continue, man. Just continue.
Yes.
Stay relevant and continue.
Is this bill about the budget, Mr. President? And in the budget, is there a segment for security in the budget? And is there a need for analysis of the spending?
Yes.
I am speaking to what the Prime Minister said was the reason for this budget being casted as it was.
All right, Senator Brown, Senator
He
Crawford,
said
go on, man.
these
Continue,
things.
man.
So what we say now? I want to know why I hear this. The Jamaica government and the Prime Minister Bruce Golding resisted the request and hired a firm to block the extradition. This sparked domestic and international criticism,
Put it up on them there, man.
alleging that the government
Put
was
it up on
protecting a
them.
criminal figure. Continues. Now what you say?
Okay, take the pressure.
Now when they
That's all.
decided to sign
Yeah.
the extradition,
Pull it then.
pull it, there's a whole SOE.
Pull
What
it
was
then.
that again?
Pull it.
Said, bang, 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 There's a commission of inquiry. We can analyze it if we want. I don't have to go further. But barricades were set up after he was given time to prepare. By the delay, barriers were set up, police stations were burned, and therefore a state of emergency was called. The state of emergency was not called out of a cabinet decision to fight crime. That's not true, but continue. The government declared a state of emergency. Security forces launched an assault on Tivoli Garden, and 73 deaths happened. I think this is 73 civilians. And they're talking about apologize. Have they apologized to Tivoli Gardens, one of their chief supporting communities, for the deaths that they caused with their decisions? But then the Prime Minister in that thing got on some more, Sophie. Next one. Suggested that the Prime Minister suggested in his presentation that if the PMP did not end that state of emergency, that crime would have gone down further. Let's look at it because the truth is their enemy. This is, go back up and show them the picture so they know it's true. Up. This is from the Jamaica Information Service that was being managed by the government of Jamaica, the JLP government, in 2010. Let me read it. Go down, make I read it. The Prime Minister said the PMP ended it. How can we trust this man? It quotes, a resolution to extend the state of emergency, which has been in effect since May 23rd, was not approved in the House of Representatives Tuesday, July 2020. The resolution brought by Prime Minister, the Honorable Bruce Golding, sought to extend the state of emergency in the parishes of Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine to August 21st, 2010. This is the sweet part. The resolution needed 31 votes for approval, But 6 government members, who was the government? The JLP. 6 government members were absent when it was put to the vote. The 25 government MPs who voted in favor was not enough, as the 18 opposition members abstained. So they needed their people, only their people.
Only their people.
Only their people.
Is that gaslighting?
That is gaslighting. I understand from analyzing the Hansard, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, that the current Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, was absent. Is the Hansard tell me now, I love sue people? They can sue me today. All right, but good. Delroy Chuck, the current Minister of Justice, absented himself. He needs to explain to the people of Jamaica. Yes. And the Prime Minister, who was the leader of government business, with the duty and job to make sure the 31 was there, keeps repeating that the PMP ended the state of emergency. How can we trust this man?
We can't.
Go. And he says that all of Senator Bunting's achievements was due to 2 SOEs. Yet when he had multiple SOEs for multiple years, crime increased by 211 murders. Between 2018, when he started his SOEs, and when about 20 or 20 after, but Bruce Golding's 2 was the reason why 4 years after you could be successful. Now, what that makes sense? What can go so? What can go so? This is the type of analysis that the Prime Minister is giving. Now they say they save for a rainy day. I hear the finance minister said, oh, we save, and when we save, we can spend, and we can save for a rainy day. They said the PMP is not the saving party. Well, let's analyze a rainy day, because COVID-19 was a rainy day. If there's ever a rainy day, COVID-19, let's analyze. Let's analyze. Me already tell you about that already. Lies will not win you this election. And now I'm going to show a lie. But when COVID came, they depended on the NHF, which was created by the People's National Party. That is the PMP saving fund that they had to raise. Go on again, Sophie, I don't want to take too long. When COVID came, they depended on the Universal Access Fund. All of the spending for children to get access and the wireless, and that was PMP saving fund. Come again. They depending on the Tourism Enhancement Fund. Well, go on, man. Come again. I'll beat them. Okay? They depended on NHC. Created by the People's National Party. E-learning Jamaica. PMP saving fund. JC. PMP saving fund. Come again. Chase fund. PMP saving fund.
Bang, 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 bang,
bang. PMP saving fund. They could not have executed 40 years ago. Where would we be? I give you no heart.
Bang, 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 bang.
I rewarded Edward Siagafat. I gave him a plaque. He came to the dinner. He wasn't as what do you call it now?
So basically, you know, the dear man is saying, you know, all JLP do raid PMP saving pan and work off it and tell P a fucking lie. Yo.
Fast as you. He came to the PMP-YO's dinner and I gave him a plaque. Look, NHT, created by the PMP 1976. Michael Manley. Jamaica Social Investment Fund 1996, PJ Patterson. Chase Fund 2002, PJ Patterson. National Health Fund 2003, PJ Patterson. E-Learning Jamaica 2003, PJ Patterson. Tourism Enhancement Fund 2004, PJ Patterson. Universal Access Fund 2004. Did you see Andrew Holness' name up there? No. Not one. All part. But part wasn't a source of funds. So it wasn't the saving pan. But it's a program that they're depending on. But I'm showing you that how is it that the band raiders are saying that they're better than the farmers of the corn?
Argument.
want them liquor, man?
Argument.
Well, now I'm going to some ideas, gallery. How you finish? First of all, you don't have no idea. What stupidity is that? How could a collection of over 4,000 people have no idea? Better say we have no good idea.
Just say what Marlon is that?
Yes. What madness is that? Now, when we link them with ideas now, they say it wasn't costing. I want any Jamaican to go to the presentation by Andrew Jonas in 2015 in this parliament as leader of the opposition going into the election and tell me where his costings were. Just go and look back at that 2015. I don't need to tell nobody nothing. Right? It has never been the itemization of each project in the opposition leader's speech. Never been. Give me a chance. Come now. They will steal some ideas. Ready now? Minister Williams' assumption. Minister Williams says that the opposition promised daily lunch meals at primary and secondary school for all children who are in need. I want you to listen to that, you know. It's a quotation. She said for all children who are in need. The government currently spends $9 billion for 200,000 children to get breakfast, snacks, and midday meals for 190 days. If anything is put in this country at risk, it is this minister that is putting this country at risk. Why we know this minister is putting this country at risk, Minister of Finance? Because her cost analysis don't add up, the maths is not mathsing. If she should spend $280 per child on 200,000 children for 190 days, that is 10.6 billion. The budget is 8.98. So already she out billion. 1.66 billion shortfall. How much other bad maths is in this budget? How much other bad maths? At $200 a meal for 190 days. It is either they're lying on the number of children, because it would be 168,000, or they plan to feed 31,000 fewer who need it. We go again. Let us not forget that in her analysis of the PMP's proposal, she said 400,000 children are in need. The JLP's proposal is to feed 168. They have decided to sacrifice in this budget 231,203 children that she says, as the former Minister of Education, she should know.
Yes.
That is not in the budget. But she says the PMP needed number is 400,000. She should know. We go to transportation. 50% deep rural problems. Go again, Sophie, rural problems. Let's look at student transportation. Oh, Lord. Well, let's look. Student transportation. The JLP main program, we have RIDE, Rural Initiative for Delivering Education. They have a national rural school bus system. Number of students to benefit, 50,000 from the PMP side. The current number of students benefit from the PATH RIDE program is 7,500. Allocation per child, 2,500 per week via school operators. So, for example, the Dean of Discipline or the Guidance Council will recommend a child who they see not coming, and they will say, you know, this one have some troubles, and then the analysts will go and analyze it. Their method, they just catch a bus if you catch a bus. Phased detail, the JLP said that they'll phase it in. Coverage focus, island-wide for the PMP, the JLP is picking 1 and 2 parishes. The role is to reduce absenteeism and improve access. Next one, Sophie. Housing policy. The PMP NHT, we will stop taking the money out of the budget. And they have made heavy weather of this one. When the election is called, after today, the 11 billion from the NHT budget would already been taken out. Therefore, the Prime Minister, to be Mark Golding, has made a commitment that he will take no further funds from the NHT. People who are activists and acting as journalists are saying, then why is it in this budget? But Prime Minister Andrew Holness said he's building 7 town centers. None of it is in this budget.
None. Not one.
But nobody asks why is he talking about that in this budget. There's never been a conversation of a budget without painting an overarching view of what we will do. But let's look.
Yes, sweet mouth,
affordability, I love that. Hey man, I'm about 3 slides left, not true?
3 slides.
3 slides.
Mr. President, might the Senate be permitted to sit beyond 1:30 to complete the business of the day?
Senator, the question, you have heard. Those in favor? Those in favor? Those in favor?
Aye. By the way, let me just remind my taxi drivers that the PMP's transportation plan to use taxi drivers to put money in the economy and provide growth. The JLP transportation plan trying to buy bus to compete with them. Make we tell them. Ready now. We have a rent-to-own plan. The rent-to-own plan has been continuously conversed upon. This is where if you don't have access to the money, you can go and rent a house, and a portion of the rental will go towards your mortgage, to your down payment, and eventually the rental become a mortgage. When that lick them, they don't know what to say. They have no plan. Young buyers get support. $1 billion fund to give the young buyers $500,000 as a deposit help so that you can go forward. They have none of that. Informal settlements under pressure will be reviewed. They have nothing like that. Come again. Under housing policy, we also said we're going to have better things for the teachers. But under housing policy, Andrew Holness said in his presentation, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Dr. Andrew Holness, under the new social housing program, 208 houses have been delivered. Let us do the maths.
Do the math.
This program that he takes a picture every time he's giving over one. The one picture. If PJ Patterson was to take a picture of a house, he would take every day for about 30 years. But listen, no problem. The same Prime Minister, Dr. Michael Andrew Holness, he estimates that the need is approximately 6,000 houses. If he has built 280 houses in 9 years, it would take 193 years for him to build 6,000 houses. How is that policy to be celebrated? It might be for this reason that the Auditor General, is it the Auditor General, said that this is a duplicated program that didn't need to be done. And then he responded to say, she either, what like she not sense, but basically he disregarded her statement. What 193 years? You're going to wait? That don't make any sense. Go again. Tertiary education, I have some students here. University education. I just 2 left, now what you say? Student loan. The PMP says we will cap student loan payments at a manageable % of your income. We will suspend payments at the period of unemployment. And there will be no penalty. What the JLP says, we will extend the loan payment years. So if they extend the loan payment years for $3 million from 7 years to 10 years, it will move to about 39,000 from 46,000. Now, if it now work, where you gonna get the 39,000? The PMP is better.
Of course, the PMP is better.
The PMP has also said that we will do a loan default amnesty. So that those who are in arrears and have big penalties, we will remove the penalty and make arrangements. I have seen it for businesses, I've seen it for water, I've seen it for light. Why not for students? What the JLP said, not at all. Scholarship access. The PMP said the first person in every family that matriculate to the university will be given a scholarship. That is 6,500 based on our calculations. What the JLP said. In his speech, Andrew, Prime Minister only said he'd give 10 scholarships for construction. 6,500 compared to 10. The PNP is better. Teachers incentive. The teachers will get student loan relief for every year that they remain in the classroom, because we must fight to maintain our teachers. They will also be considered for some form of concession after every 5 years that they stay in the classroom. They don't have to migrate for house and car. It's one slide left. Nobody stop it now. What the JLP says. They don't remember teacher none at all. They don't remember teacher none at all. They don't remember police neither. With all the effort that the police are putting them in the line of fire, many police and soldiers cannot get a license firearm, Senator Bunting. You know that? And they are now being exposed, sitting down a stoplight. Everybody see them, everybody know them. They have a M16 or a SLR for the government in the day, and they cannot get approved for a 9mm in the night. When we get into power, we will give special consideration to the security forces for a licensed firearm. You can't buy the library. Listen, man. The teachers will get tax relief on their laptops, and we will treat the internet as a tool of trade. Because you have to have information to teach. This is not addressed by the JLP. We can move on to skill training, but the time is upon us. Because we said that we're going to do a special program to put into all the high schools 4 options of vocational study and have a vocational pathway from 10th grade to 13th grade where you graduate with a level 4 in vocation. They have proposed special projects such as Lift and Care program and mentorship for students. I don't know. Go ahead. The PMP is better. Now let us look at quickly total children or total youth aged 17 to 19 to 29. I only have one slide left enough to stop me now. Just 2 more lick and everything all right. Just 2 more pop-up.
Pressure bite them.
Just 2 more of this.
Pressure bite them.
No. Nobody watch my style, can we teach it? Me? Every style me have them teeth. So don't watch me. Can you see all them teeth bubble belly big? None of my opinion them belly not gonna be good food in the schools. Alright. Good food in the schools. No bang belly, but children will be alright. Ready or no? The government have made heavy weather that they have a program called Lift. 500 children per year. Every year, they will do 500 from the age 17 to 29. What is the number of persons in this age cohort? Using an average of 36,000 per year, this is taken from the Minister of Finance. That is 468,000 children in the age group 17 to 29. The government has made heavy weather of a program that is going to do 500. So therefore 500 will be lifted and 467,500 will be left. So 500 will be left and over 400 will be left. She said, they said they have other programs. They have another one where the Prime Minister said, and I'm quoting, let me read the Prime Minister quote first. Heart, which is Heart Trust, will be proactive in finding you, this is the person not engaged, and bringing you to the well of training. If our economy is to grow, we need every able-bodied man and woman who is able and capable to enter the labor force. That's what he said. Remember, I just showed you we have 300,000 who decide to them night. The program that he has targets 1,980, 30 per constituency. How can you say that you are going to make a big thing and the advertising budget would have bigger than what they are going to pay to them? Because that's the Mayor's Park, I tell the time by spark. Why me need the road to fix? The time by spark. They have done that alone. Now, on the radio, finally, Mr. President, I have heard Senator Morgan make heavy weather. And I've also seen my former friend, Barrel Vaz. Oh, that is my former friend. But I still have to try to help him because he can't come past 10 without backstopper. So I have to send some backstopper for him come. Say that it will cost $1 trillion to fund a first in the family scholarship. Senator Morgan said that the PMP is backtracking because we said 1 per household. They don't understand the difference between a policy objective and a policy strategy. The objective is to have 1 degree per household. And therefore, we're going to implement a strategy where the first child in every household to matriculate will get a scholarship to the any university upon which they matriculate in Jamaica. Go again, so. Go again. You don't have no bashment. All the children are left when they get up. Don't tell me already. Go again, make up. Sophie, do this something quick. Oh, so Mr. President, when you look at the history, the PMP.
What a hot debate. A debate is hot. One of the hottest for a long time. Burn all of them like a pepper, scotch bonnet. Yeah, man. Them get some bullets. Them get some, yeah, me I tell you, brother. Dear man, put it on them. Yeah, without no apology. Put it on them, dear man. Put it on them. You know what I mean? Without no apology. Yeah, me love it. Love it. Like cooked food. Believe you me. Yeah, man, put it on them. Wicked. Yeah, man, I want wicked debate. And I'm just hold it out. They try to sabotage it, you know. But they never succeed. Because PMP wiser than them. Yeah, man, PMP wiser than them. In a lot of ways. So you see, so that is this. And that is that. Because, boy, I'm glad I just bring through this. Because my life here, dear man, always a debate and put things on people. Because we are talking about the facts, you know. Not facts. Machine. Like with the rascal JLP them come up with. And the one big belly and sour Marlon Morgan. Your time is short in the Senate, you know. So yeah, you fight for your life. So enjoy the time. We're dead now. You're not gonna last long. I will out like a light. Yeah, man. When I try to delay, now I go so, you know. Believe you me. No matter what I try to do. Yeah, man. No matter what I try to do. So anyway, people, we're out and running, out and gunning. So we're out.
Oh, where you watch? Look where you watch. Know where you watch. Choose the right thing to watch.
A big sound up here, big tune.
Ja oli Emmanuel I, boy. Ja Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well. Gideon go busting out them head. Again, so much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators. Like Malcolm X and Martin Luther. And the ancient monarchy will come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know what, no devil philosophy. Not until level for man's skin is of no more significant well to the color of his eye. Remember all the war long in 1935.
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gorgan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at that.
Thank you.